Hello, let's find out the crazy dance created by the anxious avoidant attachment type through the relationship between Tom, anxious attachment type, and Summer, avoidant attachment type. The main character of the movie, 500 Days of Summer. Anxious and avoidant type couples account for the largest number of stable to stable couples. You can't help but be attracted to each other. But the anxious and the avoidant only make each other's unstable attachment more unstable, and they only perform more turbulent, anxious avoidant dances. Let's take a closer look at the movie. Tom, who believes that there's a soulmate somewhere and he can't be happy until he finds her, is an anxious attachment type. He is crazy about Summer, but I don't have much interest in who Summer is, what she likes, and so on. For example, I gave Summer a book as a gift, and you can see that it was an architecture of happiness he was reading that didn't take into account her taste at all. He just felt fate in common that he and Summer liked the same music, and believed that we were special and fell in love with each other. The anxious that craves intimacy and quickly falls in love. Summer is an avoidant attachment type standing on the opposite side. She is self-centered and wants to keep her distance from her relationship. She is independent, doesn't need a boyfriend, and doesn't believe in love because she thinks relationships are confusing and hurtful. She has very firm boundaries to protect herself from others to avoid being hurt. She argued that Tom and herself are not serious lovers, they are just friends. When Summer first started meeting, she definitely nailed this part. But Tom wants to be close and have a definite relationship. Tom feels like he's getting a very confusing signal. Unlike his stores, the plain newlyweds kiss secretly in the company's copy room and then confirm to be friends. Summer sends a confusing signal without considering Tom's mood at all. Tom keeps trying to intrude on the boundary that Summer set up. Tom wants to develop a relationship, but Summer wants to keep a distance. There is a big difference in expectations for the relationship between the two, but conversations do not solve each other, and Tom pushes to get close and Summer only runs away. The difference between these two can be seen after a breakup. The anxious Tom had a hard time after the breakup. Of course, I don't know if I can say it's a pain after a breakup because we've never dated in the first place, but the loss of an intimate and close person is a great pain for anxiety. Summer looked exactly the opposite after the breakup. There is no scene where she is having a hard time breaking up with Tom. For her, losing Tom was not a great pain or pain. Instead, you meet a new opponent in an incredibly very short time, as the avoidant type does. Tom still hasn't given up on it for a short time, but Summer even promises to marry a new person in the meantime. How could two people with such different relationships last 500 days? The avoidant type is very proud of its independence, not relying on anyone. Avoidant Summer used Tom because he can feel his independence once again while looking at Tom, who wants and craves him, and gain self-esteem by feeling, "You want me so desperately." The avoidant type gives the other person a confusing signal or a very stingy affection. I don't know when I can get affection, and I don't know when I can get affection and distance myself. Avoidant stingy, unpredictable, and intermittent affection drives an anxious attachment system. It's a system that you acquired as a child, obsessed with incredible and untrustworthy objects and tried to survive. An anxious avoidant couple like Tom and Jerry from a cartoon who chase don't stabilize each other. They just make each other more unstable. But for this reason, the couple tends to stay together for quite a while. If you're having a hard time in a relationship, why don't you understand the type of attachment you have with me?